Welcome to the Grace Field House, where orphans lead a happy and harmonious life under the watchful eye of their beloved caretaker, Mama Isabella. The kids have formed a tight-knit family, and each one bears a unique number tattooed on their necks. Isabella makes sure they receive a well-rounded education, with Emma, Norman, and Ray being the brightest students. But tonight is not a joyous occasion for everyone. Connie is leaving the orphanage to start a new life with her adopted family. Emma and Norman wonder if they will ever hear from her again, as most of the departing kids promise to write but never do. As they ponder, they stumble upon Connie's cherished bunny, and things take a terrifying turn. The gate lights are still on, and the trio must hurry to return the toy before it's too late. What they discover beyond the gate shocks them to their core: a deserted street with a parked truck and Connie's lifeless body, pierced by a flower. They barely have time to process this horrific scene when they hear footsteps approaching. Emma, Norman, must act quickly and hide under the truck, hoping to remain undetected. The children's horror reaches its peak as they witness enormous monsters halt before their eyes, sealing Connie inside a capsule. The monsters casually discuss the exceptional quality of human meat from this farm, typically reserved for elite demons. Just then, Isabella arrives, making promises to bring back the highest-scoring children for the next harvest. Suddenly, a peculiar scent catches the monsters' attention, triggering a hunt for potential spies. However, their search beneath the truck reveals only Connie's innocent bunny. Isabella's behavior becomes suspicious when she receives the toy. Norman and Emma, their hearts pounding, flee across the meadow. Overwhelmed by her emotions, Emma breaks down in tears, struggling to accept the unthinkable truth that Mama, their caretaker, could be complicit in the sinister human farm. The tattoos on their bodies and the absence of letters finally make sense. Determined to escape, Norman consoles Emma, proposing that they flee together, but Emma insists on liberating their comrades as well. The next day, Emma and Norman huddle together, deliberating their options. Norman advocates for a careful and secretive escape plan, withholding information from the others until they have a foolproof strategy. They decide to commence their investigation of the surroundings. However, their hopes are dashed as they cross the fence, only to discover an imposing wall encircling the meadow. Leaping over it proves impossible, leaving them no choice but to retrieve a rope and return later. Meanwhile, the children's playful diversion grinds to a halt when they realize that one girl is missing. In a swift motion, Isabella retrieves her watch and ventures into the depths of the forest. To their astonishment, she returns within seconds, cradling the missing girl in her arms. Emma and Norman exchange knowing glances, realizing that Isabella must have implanted tracking devices in them during infancy. She wields her watch to monitor the whereabouts of all the children. If they wish to break free from her clutches, they must first find a way to dismantle the surveillance system. The following day, Emma and Norman clandestinely stash a rope within the sheltering embrace of a tree. However, their covert act is abruptly interrupted when Ray catches them in the act. Without hesitation, Norman reveals the chilling truth to their astonished comrade. To their relief, Ray, surprisingly, exhibits no skepticism. Instead, he harbors an unwavering determination to aid them in their desperate escape. After an intense research session in the library, the trio stumbles upon books marked with an owl emblem, which turns out to be Morse code. Decrypting the hidden messages, they learn about a mysterious figure named Minerva who also possesses knowledge of the grim truth and urges them to make a daring escape. Their hearts pounding, the children return to the house where Isabella unveils her new assistant, Crone, instantly igniting their fears of heightened surveillance. Isabella confides in Crone, revealing the children's awareness of their dark fate and vowing to prevent their escape at any cost. Determined to prepare their fellow orphans for the impending escape, the trio hatches a brilliant plan disguised as a thrilling game of tag. Their goal: to teach the others the art of evasion and concealment. Yet, their efforts are thwarted when Crone overhears their scheme and cunningly inserts herself into the game, skillfully capturing every child except Norman. Pondering the situation, the trio realizes there must be a traitor among them, leaking information to Isabella. With their trust shaken, they make a risky decision to confide in Don and Gilda, hoping to uncover the identity of the informant. Don struggles to believe their shocking revelation and directs his anger towards Ray, while Gilda, recognizing Emma's unwavering sincerity, swiftly embraces the truth. In a bid to confirm their suspicions, Norman cunningly shares different hiding spots for the stolen rope with Don and Gilda. Under the cover of darkness, a mysterious hand slides a note under Isabella's door, tipping her off about the hidden rope locations. The next morning, the children wake up to find their precious lifeline missing, confirming the success of their elaborate ruse. Emma and Ray celebrate their triumph, but their joy is short-lived when Norman drops a bombshell. The trap was specifically set for Ray, as he possessed the true knowledge of the rope's whereabouts, while Norman deliberately misled the others with false information. Ray admits to having discovered the truth long ago, and in a desperate bid to buy time, he made a treacherous pact with Isabella, serving as a spy in exchange for delaying his own adoption. However, Ray's commitment to survival has never wavered, as he continually sought alternative solutions to their grim predicament. In a daring move, Ray leaves the bunny behind and leads his friends on a quest for the truth. Emma and Norman put complete trust in Ray, seeing him as a valuable double agent. They stash ropes, gas cans, and a gadget to disable the trackers in Ray's secret compartment. Later, Ray cleverly tricks Isabella into believing the kids plan to poison her food, keeping her occupied. But despite her appreciation, Isabella announces Ray's upcoming adoption in a few months. The next day, the 5 children gather by the wall to test their rope, only to be caught by Crone. To their surprise, she offers her help, revealing a scar from her own implanted chip. If any child escapes, the chip will electrocute her, leaving her trapped. Crone, once an orphan herself, dreams of overthrowing Isabella and becoming the new mama for a better life. United by a common goal, she is willing to assist the children. As night descends, the kids enter Crone's room, where she unveils the incredible truth about the outside world. Centuries ago, humanity waged a brutal war against a demonic species. After endless battles, both sides struck a deal known as the Promise, agreeing to inhabit separate realms. The demons vowed to stop harming humans under one condition: the humans must provide them with children as a source of food. This led to the establishment of human breeding farms, disguised as orphanages, in the demon world. The children receive an extensive education because consuming intelligent humans prevents the demons from turning into mindless beasts. Intrigued by the trackers, the kids ask Crone, who confirms their presence on their ears. As the kids carry on with their carefree attitude, Crone's senses tingle, alerting her to their newfound ability to outsmart the trackers. Fueled by an unwavering determination, she pledges to unearth their secret. The next day, while laughter fills the air outside, Crone stealthily infiltrates the children's sanctuary, tirelessly searching for the blocker. However, Gilda's sharp eyes catch a glimpse of Crone's investigation, triggering a swift warning that sets the team into motion. With calculated finesse, they shroud the blocker within an innocent-looking pig plushie, expertly deceiving Crone's scrutiny. Yet, Crone's intuition guides her to the empty hiding place, intensifying her suspicions like a riddle begging to be solved. Just as she is about to unravel the plushie's mystery, an unforeseen interruption arrives in the form of Isabella, bearing news of Crone's sudden transfer to another facility as a mama. Filled with skepticism, Crone leaves behind a cryptic pen, an enigmatic token for the children. Outside the confines of the orphanage, Crone comes face to face with the formidable grandmother, the supervisor, exposing the dark truths that shroud the establishment. Despite Crone's courageous revelations, Grandmother staunchly defends Isabella's position and mercilessly denies the children's escape. In a shocking turn of events, Grandmother sanctions the release of a demon to erase Crone from the equation, a chilling demonstration of power. Time presses on, and Emma and Norman embark on a daring mission toward the towering wall, guided by Ray's clever diversionary tactics against Isabella. However, Isabella's shrewd mind pierces through the veil of deception, boldly claiming responsibility for Crone's vanishing act and ensnaring Ray within her clutches. Yet, a glimmer of hope remains as dawn emerges as the valiant savior, orchestrating Ray's triumphant escape from his entrapment. Meanwhile, Isabella fixates her gaze upon Emma and Norman at the wall, emphasizing her indispensable role as their provider, cunningly discouraging any notions of defiance. Just when darkness threatens to engulf them, an audacious surge of bravery surges within Emma, propelling her to fearlessly tackle Isabella, granting Norman a fleeting moment of liberation. However, Isabella's malevolent might prevails, swiftly overpowering Emma, and with a heartless blow, shattering her leg, halting her escape in its tracks. In a defiant stand, Norman adamantly refuses to leave the orphanage without Emma, triggering Isabella's cunning move to proclaim Norman's adoption and his imminent departure the next day. As darkness envelopes them, the children huddle together, plotting ways to aid Norman, but he selflessly rejects their assistance, ready to be a sacrificial shield for their sake. Ray seizes the moment to unveil his extraordinary past, recounting his early encounters with the headquarters, demons, and the unsettling existence of other infants. The sun rises on a pivotal day as Norman readies his belongings, stumbling upon a cryptic pen hidden in his drawer. Scaling the wall with a rope, his heart sinks as he discovers a desolate cliff encircling the once promising meadow. Returning to his comrades, Norman presents them with a meticulously drawn map, urging them to find a bridge to bridge the treacherous gap. As evening descends, a bittersweet farewell transpires, wrenching Emma's soul as her desperate pleas fail to halt Norman's determined departure. Isabella guides Norman through the imposing gates, but a surprising encounter awaits him. A man named Peter stands in place of the expected monster. Peter discloses his role as the orchestrator of the operation to appease the monsters, unveiling the chilling truths hidden within. Unfazed by Peter's revelations, Norman stands firm, refusing to succumb to fear or intimidation. Abruptly, a malevolent demon emerges, extinguishing Peter's life in an instant. In the months that follow, Emma languishes in a desolate haze of depression, her focus fixated on physical recovery, while Isabella tantalizingly hints at her potential ascension as the next mama. Overwhelmed by a sense of helplessness, Ray succumbs to the grip of despair, unwittingly fueling Isabella's twisted sense of triumph. In a daring turn of events, Ray receives the news of his impending adoption, but little does Isabella know, he already has a plan brewing. With swift determination, Ray drenches everything in sight with juice and sets the room ablaze, catching everyone off guard. Amidst the chaotic inferno, Emma's cry pierces the air, drawing Isabella to the scene. She finds Ray trapped in the flames, his watch a testament to the danger. Desperate to save him, Isabella futilely battles the fire, only to discover Emma's disappearance when she turns around. Unbeknownst to Isabella, this was all part of the grand plan, and Emma has successfully orchestrated their escape with the other children. Following Norman's departure, Emma stumbles upon a note he left behind, containing invaluable escape strategies and a special pen. Entrusting the note to Dawn and Gilda, they take charge of organizing the children while Emma maintains a facade of despair under Isabella's watchful gaze. Despite the surveillance, Emma deftly removes Ray's tracker with a knife and hurls it into the flames, freeing him from Isabella's clutches. The other children follow suit, severing their ties to the tracking devices. With a heavy heart, they leave the younger ones behind, but Emma promises a future rescue. Finally reaching the wall, they ingeniously throw ropes across the daunting cliff and skillfully slide down, using hangers for added safety. As each child triumphantly makes it to the other side, only Emma remains, determined to escape. However, Isabella arrives, resolute in her mission to thwart Emma's flight. In a moment of vulnerability, Isabella reveals her own past, marked by naivety, a lost pregnancy, and an unwavering commitment to becoming a mama. Despite her conflicting emotions, she warns Emma that severing the rope will be the consequence if she dares to flee. Emma confronts Isabella, firmly rejecting her claims. She boldly asserts that Isabella's actions of teaching them to think ahead were driven by her desire to witness their growth and escape, despite Isabella's denials. With unwavering determination, Emma descends down the rope, defying Isabella's threatening knife. Overwhelmed by conflicting emotions, Isabella watches with a mix of pride and reminiscence as the children flee. Memories flood her mind, particularly of a young Ray, whose melodious song from the womb unveiled a shocking truth: he was the child she was led to believe she had lost. Meanwhile, the children forge ahead, traversing the treacherous jungle. When exhaustion and fear take their toll on some, Emma reveals the pen, projecting an image of Minerva's owl symbol, serving as their guiding light to the city. Simultaneously, Isabella seeks an audience with grandmother and Peter, taking full responsibility for the events that transpired. In a chilling punishment, the leaders condemn Isabella to be devoured by a demon.